Okay, welcome to the DRQ Talks podcast. This is our third episode, and today I'm super excited because we have one of the most interesting entrepreneurs I've ever, met in this ecosystem. But today I'm again your host, Derek Mugabe, and we'll be still focusing on our topic or the theme for the first couple of episodes, which is starting out in business and trying to get you out of that comfort zone so that you can eventually start something that you've always dreamt about, something that has always been in your drawers. You just pushed it away because probably you're scared, or maybe you just want the comfort of a job or anything like that. And in studio today, ladies and gentlemen, I have the founder of GloshGlam. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm really blessed and happy to be here.
Yeah. Great. Many people know you as GloshGlam, but I want you to tell us your real name.
My name is Nasa Zipis Gloria. Yeah, those are my full names, 3 of them. So Glosh comes from Gloria. Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe you could just tell us a bit more about Glosh or Gloria or Nasa, your piece. Who are you as a person outside of the business?
Oh, yeah. I am just a normal person. Most of everything about me is basically business.
You know you're a celebrity.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not a celebrity, but I do ministry in church. I sing. I love hanging out with people, though I'm alone. Yeah, so I hide myself into the business and all that. But the introverts who are extroverts, that is me, yeah. So I hide behind the business to cover it all up. And I love creating stuff. I love digital stuff, everything about digital. I love tech. Yes, I think that's all. So it's been a very good journey of having all these skills attained at once. Yeah.
Interesting. How long have you been doing this, the GloshGlam business?
We're making 5 years in June. 5 years, yes.
Nice, interesting. But then for people who do not know you, I think from the conversations I've had with you, we've talked about why it all started from all the dreams. You've told me about the times you're still in Kenya and how all these things kept growing, where you got the inspiration from. Probably take us back from the times when you got the idea of actually starting a business to do with cosmetology.
I remember, actually, this is even funny. I remember for me to have this idea, I've always had it for the longest time. But when you have an idea of creating something, but you don't know how you're going to do that. And of course, you see brands. For example, anyone who hasn't had any idea of creating a brand or being a creative, you just see stuff and you think things just happen like magic. But these things are like done from scratch and all that. And there's no magic. It's just going and deciding to be like, okay, let me go and do it. So while I was in Nairobi, of course I had a dream before going to Nairobi. I wanted to have to do makeup and hairstyling and all that. But what triggered me to be a creative, like manufacture the things that people have to use on their bodies, on their skins, on their lips and all that, was there was a time I was watching Life of Kylie. I don't know, Kylie Jenner, that Kardashian babe. And she had insecurities with her lips. The insecurities with her lips. They were very tiny, and she could buy lots of lip liners, like very, very many. Lots of lip liners, and she had to find the best lip liner to make her lips fuller. If you notice, whites love our lips, our big lips. Yeah, so they love making their lips bigger. So she had to find the best lip liners. She could buy all kinds of lip liners and lipsticks, and they started piling up. They ended up piling up all the time. So she was like, why don't I create a beauty brand? She started selling those lip liners at school and all that with her mates and all that. So I was like, so this is how this babe started her brand. However much she's rich, yes, we understand. But from my insecurities, she came up with Kylie Cosmetics, and it is something that, of course, she's rich. She has the money to create all that, because the rest is history. And when she tells you that I went to China, they manufactured everything for me, everything was made like in a blink of an eye. Kylie Cosmetics was there. And I was like, okay, wow, so I can actually do this. Following day, I got a lip liner. I pounded a lip liner and like in powder form. And then I had some gel. There's gel that they used to put on hair. I put it in a tube mixed with a lip liner, and I was in Kenya, and I posted on my status, guys, new product coming soon. The product was eyebrow gel. So I could use it on, because I have very mild, like less eyebrows, because they are very mild. So I would always use it to with a toothbrush, that gel mixed with lip liner powder to brush my eyebrows. So it was, and I would always post. Mind you, I was in Kenya. I didn't even know that GloshGlam would come up.
Did you have the background in cosmetology yet?
No, not at all.
You were just doing
because while I was here, before I went to Nairobi, I was working at Ipsos data collection. I tutored at my former school, where I did my high school. I did lots of stuff because while I was in Nairobi, mind you, I was working as a house girl. Yeah, at my auntie's place. That is where I didn't have anything to do there, like apart from being a house girl in her house. And I could only take care of, you know what house girls do. So it was because you're stuck, your mind is stuck, you don't know what to do. You're getting 200,000 a month.
And you're tired.
Ugandan. No, at that point.
It was a lot of money.
No, it was. Because I felt like maybe it was enough at that moment. I am this contented person that I could send it back home to my mom, and she pays my siblings' fees and all that. So even if I don't play it here, I'm like, my siblings are covered for, you know. Yeah, because all that, I never did hair and all that, but I used to sell my own hair, buying gel, doing the styling and all that, extensions and all that. So Nairobi was my growth, my source of growth. And another point of my life, what actually triggered me to be like, I'll never be employed by anyone ever in my whole life, was while I was working at her place, there was this babe who like threw it to my face. She was like, you know, sometimes when you clash with someone, you know, of course, when you live with someone, you can never fail to clash. And she was like, I don't have time to shout with you, just a house girl. I was like, hey, so I'm a house girl. I was reminded my place that I'm just a house girl. That was the day I woke up and I was like, no, I can't just be a house girl. No, I'm bigger than that. Because I was all comfortable. I was all like, I'm just here to make money. Then I go back to Uganda. I go back to school. Like, I never had anything to trigger me. Yeah. And I thank God I went to Nairobi. It was a very, very good experience for me because I had trauma there. I had pain there, I had tears there, and I had growth there. And I thank God I was there. So that triggered me to actually wake up and I was like, okay, I need to do research. Since I've loved beauty, cosmetics, from this chick who has inspired me to be a creator of cosmetics, what am I going to do? Went in detail, started doing research. First thing I learned was digital marketing.
And you're really
while I was there,
you're really good at it.
And I didn't even know the name I was going to call the brand.
Did you even know what the brand was going to do?
I knew I was going to create something.
Something.
Yes. I knew I was going to create something, but I was not specific at that time until when I came back. That was 2019. August, around there. So sat down, wrote down my business plan. I was like, I'm going to create a brand called GloshGlam. I needed it to be related to me. Like, it had to be related to me, everything.
Was Glosh like your initial nickname, or you just came up with that?
Gloria is like, yeah. I used to sing with those of Levickson. They used to call me Peace Glosh. Like, all those guys, baby Glorias, they used to call me Peace Glosh. Everyone. So Glosh was just, everyone used to call me Glosh. So, yeah, singing also made my brand like, it introduced GloshGlam to the people since they knew Peace Glosh. Yeah. So it was a very beautiful experience that I had to grow at that moment. I sat down, wrote down the business plan. I was like, okay, the first thing that I'm going to create is lip gloss. I didn't know where I was going to get the raw materials from, because I saw this chick say she started a brand and she makes lip gloss.
She went to China.
Of course they make for her from China and then they bring, But then I don't even know where I'm going to start from. I have no idea. But I wrote down bonnets. That is August in 2019. I wrote down lots of stuff like cosmetics, lots of hair products. I wrote down stuff. So even actually while I was there, I used to steal my auntie's kitchen oils, olive oil, cloves and all that. I would mix them to make my hair
Where are you
oil.
getting that information from?
Google,
that you know what?
Google, YouTube.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Over those guys, Bakadamas, the way they call them, you always research the weirdest stuff. You always do research. You always watch YouTube. That's why on TikToks, those are the biggest commenters because they have nothing to do. It's like healing them and taking them away from the anxiety they have, the depression they have. Once they watch something weird, they'll project the anger they have.
Frustration.
Yes. Either comment negatively or positively. So they are the most nothing doers. Whereas have nothing to do. Yeah, I never had anything to do. Apart from taking care of my niece, my cousin babies, and taking care of the home and cooking and everything, as you understand. So I had all the time and I stole her internet. I'm sorry. I had my phone. Thank God I had a smartphone. I did the best research that has benefited my brand right now. Yeah. So I did research. I did digital marketing. There is a gentleman, he's called Suna Ronald. He introduced me to digital marketing while we met on Facebook during that period. He told me, why don't you go and do Google Garage? It has a very beautiful digital marketing insights and all that. Yeah. I learned all that. I did all the modules. It was a very good experience. And I didn't even know how I'm going to create that brand. But I'm like, let me take this course. You never know, it's going to help because everything works digital-wise. And I didn't even know that everything works digital-wise. I'm just a kid then. Wow. It went on, came back to Uganda. So before I left, my auntie was like, so what are you going to go to do once you go back? And I told her, I'm going to create my own brand.
I think she was like, this
and she was like,
mad,
how? I remember we were actually taking fuel. Like, she was filling the car. And she was like, how? We were from church. I remember that day very well. It was a Sunday. And she was like, so, on Wednesday, we are going back to Uganda. What are you going to do once you go back? And I was like, I'm going to create my own brand. And she was like, how? I was like, you'll see. That is what I told her. I was like, you'll see. I was so confident. And I was like, no, it will never fail. So came back. I put my idea on the table. I had 600,000 saved from the whole because I used to save like 30,000 because I was there for 2 years. I used to save 30,000 of the 200 every month. I had 600 saved. We used the 400 to buy because that was COVID time. I used the 400 to buy everything at home, food, stuff, and all that to stock.
You remained with 200K?
Yes, that is what I used to start the brand. Yeah. And I started it with 200,000 Ugandan shillings. When I say this, people think I'm a motivational speaker. By the way, I'm not.
How did you start with 200K? How did you, divide that 200? What did it actually do?
GloshGlam started with bonnets. Satin bonnets. I think I'm the person who introduced satin bonnets in Uganda. They were not known, those caps for women they sleep in, because I was on Facebook. I remember very well. I did my research. I was like, where am I going to get the fabric? I looked around people who stitch. I asked them, my friends, where can I get the satin material? They told me here and there. I didn't know how to stitch, remember. I learned from YouTube. I had never stitched nothing.
Interesting.
So I went on YouTube, learned everything before I put the brand out there. I had to make sure that at least I knew what I was going to do, that I was so confident that even if you just woke me up, I knew what to say about the brand. I would literally sell to you anything from GloshGlam and you buy it. Yeah. So thank God I got where to get the material. Chigembe was closed. COVID. I worked because we stay in Nangabo. That is where my mom's house is. I worked from Nangabo to Gayaza, and Gayaza side of Kasangati. And I was looking for fabric. There was only one gentleman who was selling the fabric, and it was 8,000 a meter. That was a lot of money. And before that, it was being sold like 4,000. And COVID, it's scarce, of course.
Yeah, doubled.
Went and bought like 7 meters, I think. Yeah, different color. I bought like 3 colors only. Because I remember the bonnets I made, they had turquoise green, gold, and maroon. Those are the only colors I had. Yeah, and when when I got all that, I bought the material, I bought the threads, I bought the Kamini sewing machine. There are those minis that just fix clothes. Sorry, it's white and purple. I have my auntie. She's in the UK. I love her so much, Eunice. She bought me the machine, that car machine. It was, I remember very well, it was 120. She bought it for me. And
that
they
wasn't part of the
delivered.
200K?
No.
Oh, okay.
She just gifted it to me. She gave it to me. Then after, because I presented the business proposal to her, idea to her, and she was like, "Are you sure those things are going to work?" I told her, "Wait. Just wait and see." So she bought for me, Bambi, in doubts. It's going to work. Banange. I had no photos of the product. I had nothing. During that period, I went on Pinterest, got photos, made a collage, made a very huge long post on Facebook. Hi guys, my name is Nasazipis Gloria, and I officially introduced to you my brand, GloshGlam. We deal in hair products. I don't have any hair products at all. We deal in hair products. We deal in like everything, hair products generally. I was meaning bonnets and the hair oils.
And these are people who knew you as a musician.
Facebook, of course. Many people follow you on Facebook, and of course, I had some following on my personal Facebook account. But remember, I made sure I create a brand page. I didn't post this on my personal page. Okay. When I posted it on my brand page, I shared on my personal page.
Okay.
Yes, I just shared. Oh, but then I went, people were like, "Oh my God, we are so happy for you." You know, Facebook by then, before it got spoiled.
Were they happy and buying, or they were just happy
I got my first order. 60,000. Nice. 3 bonnets. I had not made any bonnet.
You're selling a dream.
I was like, okay, now what are we going to do? But I had the fabric and all that. I went to the machine. I sat down that night because when she bought, she was like, "Hi, Glosh, I saw you sell bonnets. I've never seen these things in Uganda. Thank God you brought them. Can I have 3?" I was like, "Hey, so these things actually make money. 60,000. COVID, man."
How did you come up with the pricing that each bonnet is going to be 20K?
I came up with the pricing because I was like, since the fabric is like the meter, you can use a meter to make like two bonnets. That is like 8K, 8,000. You can use a meter to make two bonnets. You get 2 bonnets actually, the big ones. The small ones you can make 3. So that's good money.
Yeah, that was good money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the power used to, of course, you are at home and you don't pay for power and all that, but you can randomly put like maybe 5K, 10,000. Where do you get the money? Nowhere. God made a miracle. 60,000 is here. My first order. That was the beginning of GloshGlam. I went that night. I stitched the first bonnet, Banange. It was ugly.
It was your first time stitching?
My very first time. And I did the stitching. It was, I had to put it aside. I was like, no, I'm not going to sell this lady this thing.
Remember, you got the pictures from Pinterest. They look very nice.
Yeah, I got the very exact colors that I have. The photos of the colors I have. Yeah. And I did the second one. It was not so nice. The third one came out so good. So I did 3 bonnets again and they turned out so well. And I delivered to her myself. And she was like, "Thank you so much." That was the beginning.
Had you told people that you're going to be doing the stitching yourself, or you just
They knew.
They knew. Okay.
At least you've been following GloshGlam. I show everything from the behind the scenes. Everything from that time when we are, let's say, producing the bonnets, the cutting of the fabric, the buying of the fabric. I document, let me tell you, I've documented GloshGlam from scratch, that I can show proof that we started from rags. You get that we have every video that can show where we've come from. Everything. I mean everything from scratch. Because at least when I post on my Instagram, they go straight to my Facebook. I know because someone said there's a gentleman, we were in a certain workshop. He was like, "Please document your life. That life is going to be proof somewhere without even you saying a thing." Get so that thing. I'm a kind of person who loves being in front of camera all the time, like my phone. So it was easy for me to do that too, and very, very easy. And I created all the content from scratch. When start cutting the fabric, making the bonnet, and then I used to post all that. I could go to my friends' places, the neighbors, use them to take photos when they're wearing the bonnets, and I could just post. And people would know that, okay, I think I need this. I think I need this. So I was always consistent. And I looked up people in the US, UK, not in the country, who did the same thing.
There were no people doing it in the country.
I feel like they weren't inspiring, the people who had started doing it.
Did you know any?
Yeah, I got to know some. But I feel like, no, by the time I started, there wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So I even those that started, they were really big, but I felt like their content wasn't really pushing me to admire them or anything like that. Yeah, so I had to, because those people from the Western world, and they create content, they're so good with their social media when it comes to business. They can make you fall in love with everything, or their businesses and all that. They can sell to you. Yeah, so I learned all that from those people, and I kept on being consistent. Every time I ran out of ideas, I could be like, okay, now what am I going to create? How can I sell this bonnet 1,000 times in different ways? You understand? So I had to look up for new content ideas every day, selling the same thing in very many different ways. Yes.
So now we've talked about bonnets. Now you've started with bonnets. The public has embraced the bonnets.
Yeah.
How do you then incorporate other products? And what informed you that, you know what, let me add this product? Was there like an inspiration? Was it someone you met and they had like a wig that wasn't nice and like, you know what, let me start making wigs?
Yeah.
What was the inspiration of adding the different products that you eventually added?
Everything that is in GloshGlam has been a solution to me.
To yourself?
Yes, to myself. And somehow I've had a problem, and I needed to find a solution for that problem. And I knew there are other people like me
facing the same problem.
Yes. So it is me. It is me.
You're the inspiration for the products.
It is me. Because I always find ways of fixing my insecurities, apart from I can't fix the height.
Yeah. But it's okay.
I can't.
It's okay.
But anyway, what I mean is I always find ways of fixing different things about fixing my insecurities. For example, the hair. I used to have lots of hair issues. My hair was so weak, break. The thin hair, because I'm a brownie hair. And that thin hair that you can even just pull it and it breaks. But then very hard again. I had to find ways of making a product that strengthens hair, at again soften it, at again makes it stronger, thicker, grow, dandruff, and itchy scalp. That one product had to fix all that.
Interesting.
It happened. It's one of the best-selling products in GloshGlam that you can make. I don't know how many.
And
you've seen our videos.
Research, yeah.
You've seen the videos. It sells out a lot, a lot. Like, we've shipped out of the country. And for example, the acne products, you've seen my videos where I've come, my skin has been so bad. Like, I've had pimples, like huge ones that I can, and I'm not wearing foundation. My skin is getting better. You get.
And you use your product.
Yeah. And I was like, I had to come up with a cleanser, a toner, a sunscreen. That is mine. I know I have a very sensitive skin. There are very many other people who have very oily, acne-prone, sensitive skins. You get. So how are we going to, because at least, let's say, on the 100%, 70% of the people have oily, acne-prone skins. If they are not oily, at least they are acne-prone and sensitive. And acne-prone and sensitive works together with oily. Most of the times, 70%.
And you learned all this through the research you were making?
Yes, and my own self. And I went back to school. I had to go back to school also.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it is literally my own problems that I'm trying to fix. In the period of fixing my own problems, I know there is someone else. So I use my own problems to make money, the solutions for my own problems to make money, because I know I'm selling you something that I've used and I've experienced what you're going through. So of course, when you talk about something, I can know how you're feeling about it without even you telling me. You understand?
The empathy part.
Yeah, thank you. So that is why people they get their emotions attached to you, knowing that
you understand them.
Yes, I've seen your skin progress. You've been posting videos. Oh my God, now your skin looks so good.
That's a good marketing strategy,
Thank you. Yeah.
Just noticed. And actually, talking about solving problems, ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is brought to you by High People Foundation. They're doing amazing work, with the young people, with the different fintechs and startups in the country. They're also doing some good work in telemedicine with My Doctor and other things that they're doing around the country. Make sure you look out or you look for the things that they're doing. Follow them with even their awards, High People Awards. And they are the sponsors of this particular podcast. So you see, they're also looking out for you as the entrepreneurs who will be watching this. Back to you, Glosh. You have moved quite a mile. And right now we look at you and you're like, man, I want to be like Glosh. But I want to understand, you did mention something that there is a girl or someone who mentioned to you that, hey, you're just a housemaid. Yeah. Do you think that you can attribute your conviction, your ability to go through all the hardships and still, stand strong because you wanted to prove to some people that, you know what, I can do this and it's going to work? Because even your auntie didn't believe you, I feel like you had very many people to prove. Was that one of the convictions?
I don't know. Let me put this right. One thing that I know is that you can change your story. That is what I tell people. A lot can happen in 1 year.
Yeah.
There are lots of things I didn't plan for that I didn't put in my 2024 resolution, but they happened out of the and I'm like, God, you're so great.
What was the part of the things you didn't put, or you had?
I didn't put it in there. I didn't put traveling to China for my business in the resolution. There are lots of things I didn't put there. And I'm like, the mainest thing that I put there was the shop, getting the store at Akamwesi Mall, because we were in Bwaise before. I was like, okay, now I need a push shop for our clients. We have our clientele is so corporate.
So and they need with very posh clients.
It is a corporate kind of clientele that we serve. They are those office ladies, very well put together ladies. That is our clientele.
And they can't come to Bwaise.
And man, there was a time a lady came to Bwaise, my dear, with humility. I think she works with the government. She came Bambi with 2 men in army uniform. And she told them, no, stay in the car. She came in a very huge car with guns. My dear, she was like, hi, Glosh. I was like, okay, God, please put us up there.
I understand.
So, and she came very humble. She came inside, but then we were in Bwaise, side of Eden Service Park, and it was so dusty. And she removed her shoes. The place was really dusty. She removed her shoes, came in, bought her stuff, and she left. And I was like, okay, now, God, you need to do something. These customers don't have to be coming this side, So, thankfully, we made it to having a new, a store at Akamwesi Mall, Chewado. And this is one thing I tell people, that yes, maybe this person triggered me to wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm just a house girl. Because I remember that the only thing I told her was like, because she was doing low.
She was a law student.
And I'm just...
She was seeing the difference.
Man, Katigwe, what do you have to tell me? You're just a house girl. And I was like, this world is so small. That is the thing I told her. And when we put our lives on the table right now, I'm like...
5 years down the road.
Man, 5 years. Yeah, I'm like, man, I'm at least I'm here and she's here. And let's say I'm here and she's here. And by that time, I was here. You understand? And a lot can change even in 1 year. A lot can change if you focus on something, because all this stuff, you just give it the consistency and knowing what you started and not walking in the shadows of other people who are doing the same thing that you're doing. Because let me tell you, hey, this business thing that we are doing, you can faint. You can faint. Business everywhere. Because now it has gone out of you waiting for a client in your shop. It has gone out of that, away from that. Even if you have the biggest store, that is why these people that we know, the big, the sure deal people, you know why they make money? They mastered the art of advertising. They gone big TV television stations. They pay big influencers to come and do
sponsoring events.
Thank you. And once you master the art of making sure that people are aware of your brand, because yes, me, I don't have that money, but I am I have to use what I have.
What's available? Social
what's
media.
available. Yes, social media, because I know at least everyone, even when they're bored in their offices, they're going to go on Instagram. Even when they're bored in their offices, or they're in a car or in a taxi or something, they're going to pull out their phones and they watch a TikTok video. So no matter why you're feeling like, or why you have the worst past, is it the right word? The worst. You feel like, man, things are not working out. Because I needed to go to Nairobi. I really needed it. I was a child.
Had to build you.
Yeah, I really needed that. And I thank God she said that to me. And by then, I was resenting her because I really cried. I really cried. Oh my God. I cried. But then right now, I'm like, thank you for saying that to me. Because it is the reason. Mind you, she's the one who connected me there to her sister.
To the job that you have.
Yes. Yeah, she's the one. And I thank God for that. I thank God she put me where and she put me in my place.
And now you really find your place.
Yeah, I really did.
So maybe a quick one. Knowing now you've learned a lot of things. You've been on this road now. You're going to make 5 years, which is an interesting thing. You promised to call us for dinner at Serena. We are waiting for it.
I'm praying.
Yeah.
God should provide.
God will provide. So you promise, knowing everything that you know now, let us say we go back to 2019. Imagine you're starting, but then you have all this knowledge that you've collected for 5 years. You're starting out on this particular business. What do you think you would have done different as someone who is starting out?
Nothing actually has changed apart from the progress. It has been the resources. Maybe the resources weren't there, but still they were there. I had my phone and I used it, however not clear the photos were. But of course, in 2020, when I started, not everyone had an iPhone. And the photos were visible on their phones. Then
there was an excuse for blurry photos.
There was no excuse. Let me tell you, there was no excuse. I looked like a very mad person, by the way. Let me tell you. I used to take my bonnets from the house. We have a compound at my mom's place. It has grass. There's that car sun that comes out. Is it sunset, sunrise? The evening one. Man, those things confuse me. Yeah, so there's that evening sun that comes out. I was so kind of good at makeup on myself. So I got my sisters out. They're very young. One was around 8, another one was around 12, 13. I used to take them out, do makeup on them, and take photos
of them. Yes,
wearing the bonnets. I don't want to know. Or whether the background is ugly, me, I don't want to know. And those photos are still there on Instagram, So one thing that I learned with these people online, they love raw content. Raw content makes people believe that what you're doing is real. It makes people relate with whatever you're doing. It makes people feel like they are moving with you every step of the brand. I have a customer, she's called Nora. She supported us from 2020 when we had the first month of opening the brand on Facebook. Up to now.
She's still your client.
Yes, every market day at Tubayo, she sends her brother, because now she's in Arua. She stocks every month.
Nice. And
we started with her since 2020. So these people, there was a time I was talking to someone that I told her that, when a customer is supporting a brand that is not growing, they feel less. They don't get the energy to support you again. But once these customers see that they are seeing what you're using their money for, and they're seeing that you're using their money to actually grow the brand bigger and bigger, they feel so proud, and they want to relate with your brand more and more and more. And when someone looks at GloshGlam, actually 1 year ago, okay, let's talk about 1 year ago. Last year we launched about 5 products, sunscreen, the dark spot serum, we launched about 5 or 6 products.
And all these products are made by you.
Thank you. And they are selling out.
Interesting.
And people love that.
How many products do you have now?
I don't know.
Lost count.
I need to sit down and count them, because we have lip gloss, we have, I don't know. I can't now count them right now. Yeah. Because we have body care, for body products, the scrubs and all that. We have skin care, the products that target acne. We have hair care. We have wigs. We have, generally that. Because we have, we target hair, skin care, and body care.
Interesting. So maybe because we're trying to talk about how to start and everything. So of course, there are very many people who are out there who actually have dreams. They probably want to start a business. They're always admiring your content, and I think you've seen some of these comments. People admire what you're doing. What do you think is the problem? From your experience, what do you think is the reason? I don't want to call it a problem. What's the reason why people are still stuck in their comfort, that they're failing to chase their dreams, and they are okay living unfulfilled lives when they've not achieved the things they always wanted to achieve? There is that saying that the richest place on the earth or the world is the grave, because that's where you find dreams that were never, worked on or acted upon. So what do you think is the issue that why people are okay, living a comfortable life, earning 200K like you are earning, and they will not focus on a dream that is going probably in 1 year or something, get them millions of money?
Yeah, they are scared of starting.
Yeah. And what would your advice be?
You won't know the results until you start. If you start, you'll find a solution for why you failed when you started. If you don't start, you won't find ways of making what you haven't even started work.
Interesting.
Because, for example, let me give you an example. Once I introduce, let's say I'm introducing this mic to the public, and it hasn't been here. I look at something that is in high demand, but people are looking for it, but they don't know where to get it from, and they really need it. It is a need. But then I'm scared of starting. Someone is going to come and start. Once they start, you'll be like, Kalenona, I wanted to start that thing.
You could even say they stole your idea.
And these people are actually working in their living room. There's a lady. I know someone, I'm not going to mention her name. I know someone very close to me. For 4 years, she has always wanted to start a shapewear business. Someone started last year. She's making lots and lots of money. She traveled. She even came back. She ships in. And I'm telling you,
this lady hasn't started.
She hasn't started. Every time she's like, Kalanona, I wanted to start that thing. And I'm like, man, don't say those things around me. Because at least I should be an example. You've seen me start from scratch. At least I've achieved everything when you're seeing. GloshGlam has grown from scratch when you're seeing. Without anything, like nothing. And it has grown. Because let me tell you, you're not going to know the problems in what you want to start until you start. And you're not going to find the solutions of that specific business. I mean, the solutions for that, for the problems in that specific business until you start it. You get? So this whole fear of, I'm scared of starting. I'm scared, for example, if someone wants to, my first time traveling ever was last year when I traveled to China. This is a real life experience. I had never traveled, I'd never used a plane, I had never used or whatever. I was
Kenya,
so scared.
When you're going to Kenya, you're using a bus.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was so scared. I had phobia. Oh my God, I've never been scared. I was like, what if I fail? What if I do? What if I go the wrong way? But man, I've gone to school, I can read. But I was so scared. Oh my God. What if I reach late? What if I reach when the plane has already departed? And let me tell you, the person I was supposed to travel with, she was put on a different plane. I mean, she booked a different air or whatever. She used something else different. I mean, a different thing. And me, I was on Qatar. I was alone, mind you. I was like, oh my God.
First time and you're alone.
Alone. I was like, oh my God. But did I die? Did I find a solution? Did I travel back again? Like so confident and all that. And I was like, okay, now I think it is like this. It is like, and I could always ask people around me, where do I go? Where do I get this? Where do I do this? And if you don't ask, you're not going to get the knowledge. If you don't do the research, you're not going to get the knowledge. Like the way you spend hours and hours on your phone, someone else there is spending hours and hours on their phones to find that thing in your head. Because like the way you're thinking about it, someone else is thinking about it, and they're like, I wish I could find this here in Uganda, but it's not here. But what if you bring it and then you're like solving their problem? You get? So just a small thing, start.
So as we close, Glosh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for honoring our invite. You are the second guest we've hosted on the podcast. Really humbled. I think I've known you for 3 years now. How many years?
2.
2 years. And the first
Yeah,
time I
two.
got to know you, I was still
Yeah.
hosting you and you were telling your story. And I'm so proud of how far you've come. As we close, maybe just any other piece of advice that you have. But before you give that, again, a big thanks to High People Foundation for making this happen, and to the amazing team that people do not see, the people that are making this happen as well. Thank you so much. And yeah, back to you, Glosh. Your closing remarks.
Thank you so much for hosting me, Derek. It's actually very great for me to know you, and you're a very great friend. You wish me well. Yeah, and I'm so very humbled to be part of this podcast. And one thing I'm going to tell the viewers is, please don't be scared to start. Just start. Everything will follow. You'll find the solutions along the way. When you feel like it's not working, please find more other ways of making it work, because once you start something that is in your passion, something that you're so passionate about, you're going to find very many ways of making it work. So it won't fail. So find many ways of making it work. This should be like your lifestyle, and don't just give up like that. Yeah, and we want to see you win.
Thank you. And yeah, we've come to the end of our third episode. And like we said, we'll be posting once a month on our socials to just share all these stories. And also our website, where you always, read more research on the topics that we've covered and maybe get inspired to get out of your comfort and start something for yourself. For today, again, I'm Derek Mugabi, and I've been your humble host. Thank you.